by the bay the next morning for breakfast and coffee, pancakes and coffee. They got their usual table by the window. What the fuck? What do you think of what we saw yesterday? Certainly was intriguing. We've now seen a multidimensional object that opens up a realm of beauty and a multidimensional object that opens up a realm of hideousness. Yeah, they seem to be trying to conceal the multidimensional object that opens up a realm of beauty and the multidimensional object that opens up a realm of hideousness. Let's just order breakfast and talk about something else for now. That'd be nice. But I'll pay the waitress takes her order. How can I help you? The Bayside griddle cakes and with extra butter and some of your strawberry maple syrup, along with a cup of morning coffee. Coming right up. Like what's it gonna be for you, Lillian? I'll have the paradise pancakes and a cup of morning and a cup of succulent coffee. I'll have that for you people. By the way, Lelena, how is your writing project going for Coffee Lovers Monthly? It's going great. I find that I have the ability to write about coffee in a poetic way that expresses the way that coffee is not only a beverage that brings an exquisite taste sensation to my mouth, but also connects my soul to an eternal realm of pleasure that transcends this earthly plane of existence. That was beautifully stated. All of a sudden, they look out the window and see the woman in the Corvette pull up again. She gets out of the car. She seems to be holding a new package. This package is also intriguing. From the near distance is heard another woman screaming, "Get her! She's got the package!" The woman gets back into the Corvette and drives off frantically. Wow. I wonder where she went in her car. I wonder what's in the package. Maybe top secret plans drawn up by aliens. Interested in taking over the planet Earth? I'm sure we'll find out soon. Would you like to go back to my condominium and practice more William Shakespeare dialect? Sure. Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium to practice some more William Shakespeare dialect. Mike and Elena got up the next morning and went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They got their usual table. By the window, where they can look out upon San Francisco people. Penelope, their favorite waitress, takes their order. I can help you. Oh, hi, NGA Gaming. Thanks for joining me. The screen keeps freezing up. Yeah, thanks for joining me. Okay. I'll have the Bayside Griddle cakes with strawberry syrup and butter, along with some hash browns and a cup of morning paradise coffee. Oh, pretty good. How are you, NGA Gaming? Okay. I'll have that for you. What's it going to be for you, Lelena? I'll have the savory crepes with butter and maple syrup, along with a cup of ocean morning coffee. I'll have that for you people. Let's see. That package. Oh, thanks. That's very nice. Okay. That package is so intriguing, isn't it? Yes, it sure is. Hey, look, Lelena. It's Ethan Hawke. The guy who portrays Ethan Hawke in the stage adaptation of Reality Bites, and the girl who portrays you, the Lelena character in the play. They approach them. Stay the fuck away from my woman, Charlie. She's my woman now, Ethan. Sorry, Ethan. You want Charlie? Charlie is the guy who portrays me in the stage adaptation of Reality Bites, and I'm the real Ethan Hawke. I brought the character Troy Dyer into archetypal existence in Reality Bites. I'm in love with the archetype that you created, but I'm truly in love with they've talked about the product. Sorry, Ethan, I get Sheila. You have to find yourself another woman, or maybe a prostitute if you get desperate. No, sorry, Charlie. Yeah, watch me. A fight ensues. It gets bloody. Mike and Elena look to each other. I can't watch this. Can you, Elena? No? Let's go back to your condominium and practice more William Shakespeare dialect. Sure. Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium and practiced more William Shakespeare dialect. Mike and Elena said Mike's condominium overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge. and beautiful Pacific Ocean. Glimmering in the light of the moon and start talking. Isn't it amazing that Ethan Hawke is in a fight with the guy who portrays him in the stage adaptation of Reality Bites? I think it shows not only the power of love, but the power of theater. Ethan Hawke brought Troy Dyer into our existence in the archetypal realm where Reality Bites exists. His portrayal was so convincing that he fully embodied the character to the extent that he exists in such a real way that the woman Sheila, who portrays Lelena Pierce, is more in love with Charlie, the guy who portrays Troy Dyer in the stage adaptation of Reality Bites, because Charlie has brought to the tangible world the character that Ethan Hawke put into archetypal existence. That shows the power of theater. The power of love is manifest in the passionate fight that Charlie Tamlinson and Ethan Hawke are engaged in over Sheila Henderson, the woman who portrays Lelena Pierce in the stage adaptation of Reality Bites. Yeah, that is far out. Hey, look, Mike. Do you see that? The Golden Gate Bridge? Yeah. Yeah, I see it. It looks like Ethan Hawke and Sheila Henderson kissing. I thought Sheila Henderson wanted I thought Sheila Henderson wanted Charlie Tamlinson. What is she doing with Ethan Hawke? Oh, hi. Hi, Kalea Walk. I just thought of something. Do you think that maybe Sheila Henderson is in love with Troy Dyer, the character portrayed by both Ethan Hawke and Charlie Tamlinson? And whoever successfully brings Troy Dyer into real life is the guy that Sheila Henderson is going to choose? That's an interesting speculation. And perhaps correct. All of a sudden, Charlie Tamlinson wanders around by Ethan Hawke and Sheila Henderson. Another bloody fight ensues. Oh, this is really awful. We have got to try to intervene in the situation to stop the fighting. Do you have an idea about what we can do about it? I just thought of something. We could put on a play, Pancakes by the Bay, which will be a stage adaptation of Reality Bites. This play will run for several months as a competition between Ethan Hawke and Charlie Tamlinson to see who brings Troy Dyer into tangible existence. The play will be performed twice a night for several months, at the end of which the winner will be chosen by Sheila Henderson. Whoever wins gets Sheila Henderson. I love that idea. Do you want to go talk to them? Sure. Mike and Elena, go to talk to Ethan, Sheila, and Charlie. Hi, people. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. What are you doing here? Hi, Mike. We're here because Elena has an idea about how to decide who gets Sheila. What's your idea? We could put on a stage adaptation of Reality Bites and Pancakes by the Bay every evening for several months, twice an evening. The character Troy Dyer would be portrayed by Ethan in one performance and Charlie in the other performance. At the end of this series of performances, Sheila could decide who she really wants, which would be the guy who brings Troy Dyer most fully into tangible existence. That'd be perfect. I agree. Let's go for it. Okay. We'll get this thing started. Would you like to go back to my condominium to break some more William Shakespeare dialogue? Sure. Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium to practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Mike and Elena thoroughly enjoyed performing the William Shakespeare dialogue. Thanks for joining me. And thoroughly performed their performance of William Shakespeare dialogue and other people's dialogue and talked in the evening. Would you like a beer, Elena? Sure. What do you have? I have some Anchor Steam California Lager. Awesome. Well, it goes to the refrigerator to get them the beer. What do you think about when you are here all alone? When I'm here all alone, I look at the Golden Gate Bridge and see lovers hand in hand and then look up at the sky. I have a telescope that brings into focus distant planets, but you can only see them as light images. That's only a view of planets in our galaxy. I then think about planets in other galaxies and the possibility of intelligent life on other planets. We haven't found intelligent life in our galaxy so far. There may have been intelligent life in our galaxy on other planets eons ago. I then wonder that if there was intelligent life on other planets, what kind of society they had or have. I wonder if it is possible that there is or ever was a kind of utopian society anywhere in the universe where life was or is a blissful dance of unmitigated pleasure and romance. If so, I wonder if these pleasures are so acute that they transcend any earthly pleasures we can experience, placing souls forever suspended in a state of heightened sensory engagement. Yeah, it'd be similar to that feeling you get when you first fall deeply in love with another person and your world is suddenly raised to a higher plateau. That feeling would be intensified. That would be something that you would feel with your lover. That'd be so beautiful. Do you want to go to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast tomorrow? Sure. Michael and Elena went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. The next morning, you got their usual table by the window. Penelope took their order. What do you people want? I'll have the Bayside griddle cakes. Oh, hi, Wag is cool. Thanks for joining me. I'll have the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of Mountain Morning coffee. Great. What's it going to be for you, Elena? Give me the Bayside crepes and a cup of Mountain Morning coffee. I'll get that for you people. They're looking out the window and all of a sudden, the same woman in the Corvette pulls up. She's holding a package. She looks right at them from inside her car. Another woman gets out of the car and walks into the restaurant. She looks at them directly, sitting at the table. Can you guess what's in the package? She then saunters out of the restaurant, keeping her head in the same position, staring at them the whole way to the car. She screams and then laughs at a high volume, and the car races away. That was weird. Yeah. Would you like to go back to my condominium to raise some more dialogue? Sure. Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium to practice more dialogue. Mike and Elena got up the next morning and went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They got their usual table by the window. Penelope, their favorite waitress, took their order. What's it going to be for you, people, this morning? Um, Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of hot morning coffee. Got it. What'll you have? I'll have the succulent crepes and a cup of hot morning coffee. Coming right up. As Penelope goes to get their food and coffee, they start talking. This is bizarre. I wonder what the Corvette woman had in the package. I don't know. She laughed as she drove off. I wasn't sure if it was a sinister laugh or a jovial laugh. This Corvette woman seems to be an important character in the fabric of human interaction. The packages that she passes back and forth to other people are not very often revealed as to what they contain, but when they are, seem to demonstrate that their contents are extremely important. I agree. All of a sudden, Penelope the waitress comes up to them. Hi, Penelope. What's up? Hi, Mike. Hi, Elena. Can I let you people in on something? Sure. Well, what is it, Penelope? I enjoy being a waitress here and talking to fine people like you, but I've got some higher ambitions in life. Higher ambitions? You do, Penelope? What are they? My goal here has always been to be a filmmaker. I've been waiting to be inspired, and I finally have a great idea for a movie. As a matter of fact, the movie has already been shot, and I just need a movie company to fund it. If it's good, I'm sure you'll have no problem with that. What's it about? I've been observing people in and around Pancakes by the Bay. In the restaurants and outside, I've been writing dialogue that embellishes conversations I have heard and have pieced together a story of events that have taken place. I've gotten home after work and written a script based on events I have seen and dialogue I've heard. I have a rough draft of the script and a low budget production of the movie. What I want is to get it produced by a mainstream Hollywood producer such as Martin Scorsese. That's wonderful, Penelope. I hope you achieve your dream. Here's the weird aspect of the situation. In observing these people and writing a story about them, I found something disturbing. What? There's been a murder. I don't know who committed the murder, only that it was committed by some of these people. Oh, hi, Wags. Wag is cool. Okay. Um, oh, hey, Ellen. Um, how do you know there was a murder? I saw some people pull up in a van and throw a body inside. Their identity was concealed. Um, their identity was concealed. With masks. But I happen to know it was these people. How do you know? A hat that several of these people have been wearing to the restaurant? They're taking turns wearing hats on different days. The people in the van, when they drove off, accidentally dropped this hat I retrieved this hat and compared it to the hat as seen by security cameras. Indeed, a close analysis has revealed this to be the same hat. Can't you deduce from that that it must be one of the people who wore the hat? My point exactly. The problem is that almost everybody that comes in here tries that hat, tries on that hat. It's a beautifully rare hat that people want to try on. So knowing who has worn the hat doesn't give me any clues. Here's my idea. I have this story that I have written, produced by a Hollywood movie company. People come to see it. Within the movie, there is evidence of a murder that took place. The viewing audience can try to piece together the evidence and see if they could solve the murder. That way, the movie might not only be a box office hit, but provide evidence to solve a murder case. Great idea, Penelope. Yeah, it is. Would you like to practice more dialogue? Sure. Mike and Elena. Went back to Mike's condominium to raise more of a dialogue. Oh, hi. Hi, Cal Parker, or Kai Parker. You still there? Hi, this is really buzz. Michael and Elena went to Pancakes by the Bay the next morning for breakfast and coffee. Penelope took their order. What's it going to be this morning? Give it the Mountain Morning Coffee and Bayside Griddle Cakes. It is? Oh, so quiet there. Where are you? And for you? Give me the Mountain Morning Coffee and Bayside Crepes. Sure, I'll have that for you. Have you thought about the murder yet? Yeah. I was trying to understand the motive for it. Yeah, also, there is not enough physical evidence to directly connect the murder to any person. All we know is that it was committed by a person who was wearing the same hat that people have been taking turns wearing. That gives us a pretty good clue, but is not definitive evidence that the person who committed the murder was a person who wore that hat. Oh, the murder in my story. I'm talking about a murder at Pancakes by the Bay, outside of Pancakes by the Bay. Pancakes by the Bay is a fictional within my Reality Bites 2 script. Are you still listening? Okay. It's not a book. It's actually it's a script, believe it or not. maybe it reads more like a book, but it's actually a script for Reality Bites 2. I mean, it's a script that like, if the movie Reality Bites was 2 was made on based on my script, it would actually probably be about like 10 hours long, or no, like 20 hours long. It would be a long movie, but it would have to be edited. But all right, well, I mean, it's kind of like you can think of it as a book if you want. It's a book. It's a movie. It's really more of a book. This is no script. This is no like a movie script. This is a book I'm reading, I guess. But I started out like writing it as a movie, but it's really, I mean, I wrote so much for it, and it's kind of like I'm kind of a long-winded writer, so it's probably, it's like it's really more like a book, you know. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. It sounds more like a book, but I wrote it. In my defense, I wrote it as a script, but it's my Reality Bites 2 script, which is probably, if it was to be made, it would take probably like it wouldn't be a movie. It would be like a mini series, not even a mini series. It would probably be like I don't know how long this thing would be, but it would be long. Okay. Um, but anyways, yeah, they were wearing that hat when they saw them throw the dead body in the van. But we don't know the circumstances of where they got the hat. So Joshua Douglas says, I'm already confused. Well, it probably is confusing for somebody that like just jumps into this performance at this point, because I've performed a lot of this script so far. Oh, thanks, Nick, or thanks, Nick Hirsch. And then which side of the USA am I from? I'm from Chicagoland in the Midwest. Okay. Somebody let some kind of pamphlet on the table. What is it? Well, Elena looks for the pamphlet. It looks like some kind of invitation to a pagan ceremony. Oh, thanks, Kat. Thanks, Kat. That's really nice of you. Thanks. Yeah, I'm in the Midwest here in Chicagoland. A beautiful evening in Chicagoland. Okay. Where I'm in my basement right now. Okay. Oh, hi, Nick. Hey, what's up, Nick? Nick Hirsch. That's a really nice name, Nick Hirsch. Okay. Shout out to Nick Hirsch. Okay. All right. They are honoring the pagan deity Gorgon. That might be a clue. Who do you think the coolest bald celebrity is? I was thinking it's either The Rock or Billy Corgan, Michael Stipe, or Frank Black. Who's the coolest bald celebrity? Let's take a vote on that. Okay, anyways. Wait a minute. There are pagan religions. There's a big lake about a city. Yeah, there's hi Taylor Coleman. There's a big lake about a city. Yeah, there's a Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan is one of the biggest lakes in the world. Well, it's part of the Great Lakes system. Lake Huron, Lake Erie, Lake Michigan. Oh, hi Taylor. Okay. So this is my script for Reality Bites 2. Okay. Let's see. They believe that human sacrifice can confer immortality to a person if it is offered up to the gods. I don't believe that myself, but there are crazy people out there. Maybe some of the people who have been coming here are a part of a pagan religion that sacrifices human beings to Gorgon. We should try to observe some of these people more closely in the future to see if they seem suspicious. I'm assuming that's a compliment, Taylor Coleman. How many How many of the Great Lakes in the U.S.? How many Great Lakes are there? There's Lake Erie. No, wait a minute. Lake Huron, Lake Erie, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, the Great Lakes. Oh, hi, Taylor. Okay. Taylor Coleman. Okay. Taylor Coleman. Hi, Taylor. He wants me to say his name? Okay. Lake Huron, Lake Superior, Lake Erie, the Great Lakes of America. Um, I don't know. But I kind of envy people that live by the ocean. Now, that sounds like a nice fucking place to live. You're goddamn right. Somebody said you're goddamn right. Okay, anyways, okay. Um, how many lakes? There's Lake Huron, that's one. Lake Michigan, that's two. Lake Superior, that's three. Lake Erie, that's four. There's like five or six, whatever. The Great Lakes. Lake Erie, okay, anyway, whatever. Yeah, and then there's all it really is a big hole with a lot of water in it when you think about it. But no, it's cool. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, anyways, um, I don't believe that myself, but there's some crazy people out there. Okay. Maybe some of the people who have been coming here are part of a pagan religion that sacrifices human beings to Gorgon. We should try to observe some of these people more closely in the future to see if they seem suspicious. Yeah, you want to go back to my condominium to practice more dialogue? Sure. Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium to practice more dialogue. Mike and Elena thoroughly enjoyed their dialogue performances and talked into the evening. So I hope you're enjoying my performance of my Reality Bites 2 script. Wait a minute. What a beautiful night it is, isn't it, Elena? It's a night that invites lovers into the warm embrace of the ocean breeze that massages the body and soul of transcendent people. Oh, thanks, Pokemon Chicken, or Poke Chicken. Thanks, it's really nice. Okay. I wrote this script for you people to enjoy. Okay. That's what I was thinking. A warm late evening in San Francisco by the bay with my goddess of love. That's not merely being alive. That is living. What's up? What's your name? Archer? Okay. Have you thought at all about the murder at Pancakes by the Bay? No. I've just been thinking about what a shame it is that we are confronted by such heinous crimes in this life. Chicken nuggets. Are you the guy who was playing the guitar? Yeah. Yeah, that's me. Play the guitar and sing, yeah. So I'm also an actor, or a wannabe actor. No, I think I'm a real actor, actually. Okay. What's my favorite color? Purple and green. I like purple because, okay, purple is an enchanting color to me. And I think purple is an inspiring color. Whenever I see the color purple, my mind is taken to a sublime level of, whenever I see that, I'll explain why I like purple, and then I'll explain why I like green. I like purple because whenever I see the color purple, and purple is one of the more rare colors in nature. You don't see as much purple in nature. You see more like blue and yellow in nature and stuff like that. But you don't see as much purple. So that's why I like purple. One of the reasons I like purple is because purple is anybody who has a purple aura, for example, has an enlightened soul. So if you have a truly liberated soul if your aura is purple. Okay, if your aura is purple, you've got a truly liberated soul, and you're a fan of punk rock, and you see the forest for the trees, and you've got a liberated soul, and you know how to rise above and transcend bullshit if you have a purple aura. And I like green because green is one of the most beautiful colors in nature. It's just like the perfect natural color. It's like grass is green, trees are green, and I like to frolic with my lover through the warm breezes of a mid-June day in the prairie and the green meadows. Green is just such a wonderful transcendent color. So that what's my favorite game? Pac-Man. Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man and Pac-Man. And then I like asteroids. I like see I'm kind of old school. I grew up in the 80s. And you people are like you grew up in the 80s? The 1980s? Oh my God, you grew up in the fucking 1980s. Some of you people are actually born after 2000, I bet. And I was a teenager in the 1980s. And so we grew up with games like Breakaway. There was actually a game when I grew up, it was called Pong. When I grew up in the 1980s, and I still haven't even grown up. I mean, let's be honest, I'm still not grown up. I'm still totally immature and I'm fun loving and I like to horse around and goof around. So I like to actually say I grew up in the 80s is kind of a misnomer because I really haven't grown up at all. But at 54 years old, I'm still kind of like 20, really. But anyways, quote unquote, grew up in the 80s. Some of the popular games were like Asteroids and Pac-Man and Space Invaders, Miss Pac-Man. Um, and then there was also a game was called Pong, and it was actually just two sticks and a ball. And it was kind of like the ball goes back and forth between the two sticks. And it's kind of like the most simple kind of form of video game, but it was actually you just try to keep the ball just keeps going back and forth across the screen. It keeps getting faster and faster, and then you just try to stop the ball from crossing your line, and whoever can keep it prevent it from crossing their line wins. But I guess it's kind of like really more like the when you really think about it, that's like isn't that like the whole object of like most sports? In basketball, you just Pong. Yeah, it was a good game back when I was Pong. It was actually a lot of fun because the ball could actually really start whipping back and forth really fast, and um, you know, um, what was I going to say? So when you think about it, that's kind of like the object of like all games. I mean, all sports. I mean, or just about all. Whether it's hockey, basketball, soccer, you're just trying to prevent the ball. It's either on your side of the field or the other side of the field, and you're just trying to prevent the ball from crossing your line, your goal line. That's the same thing with football. The same thing with soccer. Same thing with the lacrosse, I guess, or anything. It's just like trying to get your ball. It's trying to keep your ball from trying to get your balls across the line. I'm trying to get my balls like into the pocket and prevent, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get my balls across the goal line. That's the object of every sport, isn't it? I remember that one on Famicom. Yeah, there was a lot of skill in it. Yeah, actually, I mean, it's like just because the game is so simple and primitive doesn't mean there's not a lot of skill involved. Actually, that ball goes back and forth really fast. Anyways, um, have you thought of it all about the murder of Pancake? Wait a minute, where was I? Um, back to my script. Okay, I'll just pick it up right from here. Have you thought at all about the murder of Pancakes by the Bay? No, I've just been thinking about what a shame it is. Maybe I'll say it with an English accent. Okay. That we are confronted by such heinous crimes in this life. Life could be so wonderful if we were to cooperate as human beings. The beauty of romantic love and just the beauty of being alive. I've wandered alone through this world at certain times in my life and have experienced unbridled mirth just by being in contact with a higher power. That is the harmonizing power, that is the harmonizing element of nature. I believe that we were spawned by an immortal fire and shall return to this immortal fire to repeat the cycle of birth and death. Immortal fire. That's interesting. I wrote a song called Immortal Fire years ago. And back when I wrote it, I didn't have as good of a sense of melody as I have now. But I should actually pick that song up again and with my newfound sense of melody and try to improve that song. I would have been, Immortal Fire, that's interesting. I believe in a higher power than an immortal fire. Awesome. Yeah, higher power. I've been thinking about the murderer. I have a theory. You do? Yeah, here it is. I was thinking that it may be a remote possibility that Penelope did it. Penelope the waitress. Oh, come on. She's trying to solve the murder by filming a movie about it that gives people clues as to who committed the murder. What if she was only filming a murder to solve the murder case, only as a way to cover up for herself, the person who committed the murder? You might be onto something, Lelena. There is a certain amount of plausibility to that. Do you want to go to Pancakes by the Bay tomorrow for breakfast and coffee? Sure. The next morning arrives and Mike and Lelena go to Pancakes by the Bay. Penelope takes her order. Okay. How can I help you? I'll have the mountain morning coffee and a Bayside birthday cakes. What's it gonna be for you? What's it gonna be for you, Lelena? I'll have the mountain morning coffee and Bayside crepes. Coming right up. How's a film project coming, Penelope? Good. I'm in talks with some Hollywood producers at the moment. Nice talking to you, Penelope. Likewise. Penelope goes to get their food. Does Penelope seem suspicious to you as a murder suspect? Not really. But it came to mind that if she was the murderer. Oh, hi, Doomsman. Thanks for joining me. Filming a movie about the murder in order to give people clues about it. Oh, hi, Taylor, you're back. Great. That's awesome. Okay. Would be a good way to cover herself up. I agree, but that doesn't necessarily give us much evidence that she is the murderer. I agree, but I think it's a remote possibility. Let's see if we can analyze her behavior. Yeah. We can see if she would have any motives for murder. Penelope comes back with her breakfast. Here's your grub and coffee. Thanks, Penelope. She doesn't seem violently angry to me. Sorry, the screen keeps freezing up. Okay. No, she doesn't. Do you want to go back to your condominium and practice some more dialogue? Sure. Mike and Lelena went back to Mike's condominium. I made a promise of thanks, Doomsman. Thanks. I'm glad you're subscribed to my channel. Thanks a lot. Happy to hear that. Okay. Here's an excerpt from it. Mike and Lelena went with the Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee the next morning. Penelope, their favorite waitress, took their order. The screen keeps freezing up. Sorry about that. Okay. Um, what's it going to be for you this morning, Mike and Elena? Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of morning coffee. Splendid. What's it going to be for you, Elena? Give me the Bayside pancakes and a cup of morning coffee. I'll have that for you, people. Penelope went to get their food as they talked. Okay, I have to get my other notebook out. It continues in my next notebook. Let's see. All right. Thanks for joining me. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up, and thanks for joining me. And thanks for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Okay. Reality Bites continued. Just got to find the page where this continues. And wait a minute. I'm just flipping through the notebook. Hey, what did pancakes by the bay for breakfast and coffee? Penelope took the order. Wait a minute. Okay. Actually, it starts before that. Wait a minute. Let's see. Doesn't it? Yeah. Mike and Elena got up early the next morning and went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast. They get their usual booth by the window. Penelope took their order. Good morning, Mike and Penelope. It's so nice to see you. Oh, hi, Penelope. Yeah, it's so nice to be back in the realm where Reality Bites 2 takes place. I miss San Francisco so much. How can I help you? Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of morning coffee. And for you, Mike? Give me the Paradise pancakes and a cup of morning coffee. Coming right up. It's so nice to look out the window here in Pancakes by the Bay and observe happy San Francisco people. It sure is. It sure is. I miss that. It's fun to observe these people. We have to start writing our script based on these people. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I thought that what we could do is write the script and put on a performance right here at the restaurant. The performance will be untitled so as to give them no indication as to what it's about. After the performance, we can tell the people that it was based on their interactions. That'd be so wonderful. Can you play? Can you say Mike? Mike is a hunter. Mike is a hunter. I'm not a hunter. There must be some Mike who is a hunter. Okay. Hi Joshua. Thanks for joining me again. Okay. Let's see. After the performance, we could tell the people that it was based on their interactions. That'd be wonderful. Do you want to walk around town? It's beautiful out. Sure. Let's have some fun. Michael and Elena. Oh, thanks. Oh, you see the eclipse? No, I didn't see the eclipse. Actually, I'm here in Chicago, near the Chicago area in Illinois, and I was actually at Panera yesterday, and there's no eclipse really. Let's face it. You had to be like in Carbondale, Illinois. You had to be in Carbondale. I think it was Carbondale, Illinois. Was it Carbondale? Yeah, or you had to be like in Indianapolis or Texas, or in the line of the eclipse. It didn't really pass through Chicago, so a lot of people are like getting all excited about this eclipse. It really, I mean, if you were here, you didn't see any eclipse. I mean, I didn't. It was like it got like slightly shady out for about 10 minutes. But if you were maybe in Ohio, you were in Ohio. Yeah, maybe it was like so it passed. Yeah, I heard that it passed through Ohio. It was 100% in Ohio. Oh, cool. That's really cool. What part of Ohio did you see the eclipse in? Akron or something? Cincinnati? Wait a minute. Where was it in Ohio? Toledo? Um, Cleveland. Cleveland. So are you? Have you ever been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland? Yeah, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland, isn't it? Where they have. You've never been to it? Do you? I don't really think I don't. I think I kind of think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is kind of bullshit. But I would go visit it. But I mean, I actually think that there's so many great artists that aren't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's so many great artists that I mean, there's people that are just kind of somewhat mediocre, and then some people that are great that seem to have no chance of being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But you know, um, who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is is but yeah, Cleveland. Are you an Indians fan? Cleveland Indians or Cleveland Cavaliers? Um, Anyways, actually, I went to see the Cubs play the Cleveland Indians in 1993. You're a Bills fan, so that's the Buffalo Bills, Buffalo, New York, right? Wait a minute, Buffalo Bills, yeah. So not Ohio. So okay, so um, uh, um, Buffalo, New York gets a lot of snow every year, doesn't it? It gets like tons of snow. Don't you get like 4 feet of snow every year in Buffalo? Yeah, tons. Yeah. Do you build like snow castles? I mean, do you build like a? Did you ever? Do you have like snowball fights and stuff like that, or I mean, do you? What do you do with all the snow? Do you build like igloos and stuff like that, or do you? Um, I don't actually live there, but I wanna. Yeah. I've never been to New York. I've actually think of the states I've ever been to. I've been to. You live in Pennsylvania. Okay. Do you live? Um, let's see. Are you a Pittsburgh Pirates fan or a Philadelphia Phillies fan, or what about the Philly fanatic? My rich family is in Ohio, so you're from a rich family. Pretty lucky, man. Not really. You're not you, but you said your rich family is in Ohio. Okay. Um, Millionaires? Your family are millionaires, huh? That's pretty cool. Own furniture, flooring, and daycares. They own furniture, flooring, and daycares. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Um, um, Search up Cleveland Home Outlet. Cleveland Home Outlet. Cool. Um, did you ever watch the Drew Carey show? I think it's based in Cleveland. They got the song Cleveland Rocks at the beginning. I think, yeah, the Drew Carey show. Yeah, nah, yeah. You're better off not watching it. um, Wait a minute. Are the Cleveland Indians still called the Cleveland Indians? Because I remember the Washington Redskins had to change their name because they found that you couldn't out of political correctness, you couldn't use Redskins to. So is it still the Cleveland Indians? Are they still able to use that name? Because I think that was a really cool name. But I mean, I personally don't watch sports as much as I used to, but my favorite sport is actually baseball. So is mine. Yeah, baseball is my favorite sport. Who's your favorite baseball team? Are you a pirate? I just don't know teams somehow. I just like the concept. Just don't know the teams, but somehow I like the concept. Yeah. Um, I kind of like the whole. It's a good game. It's fun. Yes. I kind of like the whole poetry and majesty surrounding baseball. I kind of like the Brewers. Okay. I kind of like the. I could be a fan of like one team one year and a fan of another team the next year, and I just kind of like the whole pomp and circumstance, and I kind of like the. I like being out at the ballpark and just kind of like the drinking beer at the games. Yeah, right. So yeah, I just kind of like that. That's a cool thing. Oh, Little Wing, right? Okay. I like the yeah Brewers. If you ever been to the Brewers Milwaukee County Stadium, that's kind of like the land of the cheeseheads and the. Wait a minute, I'm going to be leaving the show. Bye. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so that's good. So yeah, it was been a really nice talk, and yeah, I love talking baseball. I love talking music, but baseball. I think is one of the reasons baseball is my favorite sport because it's during the nicest time of the year. So in the summertime when you get the best weather, it's outdoors. A lot of times you see hot chicks in really short shorts at the baseball game, and with nice nice bodies. You know what I mean? And you get drunk out there, and sometimes you get cocky. You could say derogatory things to people on the opposing team, and then maybe get too drunk and fall into the field, stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, I was actually at this Cubs game. I think it was in the '80s, where this asshole was getting drunk in the bleachers, and he threw a cup of beer on the outfielder on the opposing team. And I would be so angry if that happened to me. But it was yeah, somebody like on the one of the Cubs fans actually threw a. It was one of the I don't know if the guy was on the Pirates, or if he was on the Brewers, or if he was what team he was on. But if he was on like the Cardinals or Yankees or whatever. But he threw a beer on one of the players. So I mean, you got to have some class out there too. I think you got to like rein it in sometimes and have some class and um, you got to learn how to like control your. I mean, when you're drunk, you got to learn how to control your behavior when you're drunk. Okay, you got to be a good drinker too. I mean, you got to be like a, seasoned veteran at drinking. You know what I mean? And be able to like control, just enjoy the buzz and not let yourself get like violently angry. Okay. Um, Back to my Reality Bites 2 script. That's going to be interesting. I thought that what we could do. Um, Wait a minute. Okay. Are you back, Joshua? Okay, so wait a minute. Are we talking baseball now, or do you want to hear my Reality Bites 2 script? Or do you want to talk baseball again? Um, um, I was just checking. I was just checking. Oh yeah. So, are we in the mood to talk baseball now? Okay, so baseball season is coming. Well, actually, baseball season is here, and is have any of you actually ever been out to? Have you been out to any of the teams on the West Coast, like the Giants or the Dodgers or the Oakland A's or any of those teams? Have you seen any of those? Or have you seen like the Mariners play in Seattle? What do you think of AstroTurf? Maybe I should host like a baseball talk thing, but it's not going to be about like, if I was to host like a baseball live stream, it wouldn't be like your typical baseball live stream. I would like to talk about like more of the kind of like the nuances of baseball and like, yeah, I don't travel much out of the Midwest either. I'd like to go and see other parts of the country, but okay. Um, we could talk about like if I had a baseball live stream, we could talk about the nuances of baseball. We could talk about AstroTurf and like AstroTurf, good or bad. What are the advantages and disadvantages of AstroTurf? As a matter of fact, I don't think. Wait a minute, I don't have much time to join streams. Okay, do they still have AstroTurf anywhere? In the is there? Does anybody know if there's still AstroTurf? Oh, you're a fan of the yeah, I'm the one from Seven Nation. Oh, thanks, man. Do you like my cover of the White Striped Seven Nation Army? Thanks. Yeah, really. Yeah, that's a lot of fun playing that song, and that's a really cool song. That's a great slice of kind of like post punk, um, indie rock. Um, oh, hey, I'm gonna leave now. I'd rather be able to get back. Oh, that's cool, Joshua. Thanks for joining me. So I'm glad you joined me for my live stream tonight. See you later, Joshua. Okay. So, who wants to talk about baseball and who wants me to read my Reality Bites 2 script? Well, since we're on my Reality Bites 2 script, um, actually, Winona Ryder is a baseball fan. I read that in one of the books I have in Winona Ryder. She's a Dodgers fan. But even though she grew up in San Francisco, she's a Dodgers fan, I read, because she used to like, she grew up in the 80s too, but she was a fan of Steve Sachs in the 80s and Vita Blue, I think. But yeah, she was a Dodgers fan. And I read where she used to go to Candlestick Park in San Francisco with her Dodgers hat on, and she got into a little tussle with some of the other people in the stands because they were all Giants fans, and she was a Dodgers. Somebody kind of she got into some kind of petty little argument over the Dodgers versus Giants, and didn't get ugly or anything. I don't know if that interests you at all, but oh yeah. So I would. So who wants to talk about baseball, and who wants to talk about who wants me to read my Reality Bites 2 script? I was just talking about how Winona Ryder is a baseball fan. Is anybody there still? Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, thanks for joining me. Do you want to talk about baseball, or you want to talk about, or you want me to do my Reality Bites too? Some of these sometimes when some of my viewers in my YouTube audience join me for my acting performances, they start talking about other things with me. So sometimes I get sidetracked and do other conversations. But it's always very interesting to talk to people about other things. Oh, hi. Um, this is my Reality Bites 2 script. We tell people that it was based on their interactions. That would be wonderful. Do you want to walk around town? It's beautiful out. Sure. Okay, wait a minute. All right. Get up the next morning and got up the next morning and let's see. And then they went to pancakes with the bread for breakfast and coffee. Penelope took your order. What'll it be for the people this morning? Give me the Bayside pancakes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. And for you, Lilana? Give me the Bayside crepes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. Coming right up. Look out the window. I wonder what's going on out there. They look at the window and see the Corvette woman staring intensely at the supernatural being in her rear view mirror. The supernatural being stares back at Penelope with a hideous glow of malevolence in her eyes and wanders off into another realm. Penelope then gets out of the car and walks up to another woman on the sidewalk and hands her a package. The woman then physically passes through a mirror on the sidewalk where she intermingles with Penelope and an object that is reflected by the mirror. She has become a part of the mirror's reflections. It's fascinating. That woman in the mirror that woman is the mirror among the reflections of the mirror. I wonder why she's in there. Images and people reflected by a mirror can trail off to form a quasi-reality, wherein the reality that they are reflecting can coalesce with the reflection itself. People can actually physically enter into their own reflected realities, wherein they could form new realities in new planes of existence. I wonder where that woman went in there with the package. Maybe to escape this reality where people are after the package. Yeah, maybe. Do you want to go back to your condominium and the price of more William Shakespeare dialogue? Sure. Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium to practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Here's an excerpt from it. Now I'm going to go back and get my William Shakespeare book so I can perform some William Shakespeare dialogue. A Midsummer Night's Dream. Midsummer Night's Dream. Introduction by Alec Yearling. Of a handful of plays where the material seems to have been essentially of Shakespeare's own invention, A Midsummer Night's Dream is by some way the most sturdily put together. Within a framing situation of the impending nuptials of Theseus and Hippolyta, three actions are juxtaposed, alternating and interconnecting the story of the four lovers being the most elaborate in terms of the plot, and that of the rehearsing mechanicals the most rudimentary. Into both of these, the willfulness of the fairy world intrudes. Temporarily in the transformation of bottom, permanently in the continuing enchantment of Demetrius, which allows the lovers' initial ragged ensemble to emerge as a symmetrical pairing. The various actions echo each other without falling into too schematic a pattern of parallel or contrast. Theseus and Hippolyta have come through antagonism to mutual love. Oberon bests Titania by humiliating her until she seeks his love and protection. The mortal lovers endure the hazards common to their kind: parental opposition, passion unrequited, infidelity, betrayal, until they and their situation are satisfactorily adjusted. Infidelity, oh, wait a minute, okay. And the mechanicals play out a miniature Romeo and Juliet, which would be tragedy were it not inadvertently presented as farce. It would, in fact, be easy to summarize many incidents so as to make the play seem darker and more threatening than it proves. Titania degraded by an amorous involvement with a bestial clown. Hermia threatened with death or the nunnery. Old friendships ripped up in sexual rivalry. Sadomasochistic tendencies in the world's rulers. As it is, merriment is what Theseus commands on first entrance, and on the way towards the final fairy benediction, our overriding response is laughter. Everything proves it, everything provokes it. Our Puck-like superiority to the character's conditioned responses, our recognition of actuality in the acrimonious verbal exchanges, above all, our almost invariable pleasure taken in the performance of what is one of Shakespeare's most bounteous gifts to the acting profession. That's a nice send-up to this. What binds it all together is an imaginative wholeness, wherein the early Shakespeare's free lyrical flow is directed towards a unified vision which proves to be both ironic and celebratory. Night's dreams of the moon are invoked at the outset and come increasingly to be linked with the idea of rational sight. Sight which is at odds both with what the object is and is known to be. Shakespeare teases out this theme until it embraces the audience as well as every element of the play. I would my father look, but with my eyes, says Hermia. It is, of course, upon these eyes that the juice of the purple flower is squeezed. All see what they are inclined to see. The inclination is sometimes involuntary, sometimes willed, sometimes coerced. Oberon's and Puck's enchantment stands for the delusive powers of darkness and dreaming, or for lunacy, or for the vagaries of the heart. Lysander and Demetrius are agreed in the first scene to be much of a muchness. Hermia and Helena have names that denote the potential interchangeability which will become actual in the chaotic middle of the play, which at any point one beloved and one not. The mysteries of inclination are to be solved by objective scrutiny, and meanwhile, what the spectators are encouraged to see is not by any means what they scrutinize, while the text repeatedly evokes a miniaturized fairy world, which is delicate and tenebrous and sometimes invisible. What is seen are full-sized human beings, even boys being not especially miniature. Moreover, what the original audiences presumably saw was daylit and without benefit of scenery. Suspension of disbelief, like inclination, is a potent thing. The mechanical's efforts are subject to the same enhancement. Hippolyta's initial resistance to their play is rebuked by her husband. This is the silliest stuff that I ever heard. The best of this kind are but shadows, and the worst are no worse if imagination amend them. It must be her imagination then, and not theirs. By line 282, her imagination, and with it her feelings, have been engaged. Be sure in my heart that I pity the man, but I pity the man. We may remember that at the start of this act, Theseus likened poetic creation to the delusions of lovers of madmen, something the play at once illustrates and demonstrates. It is more insidious, even more subliminal version of what Henry V's chorus exhorts us. Piece out our imperfections with your thoughts. Not that there are many imperfections in what has proved to be the most enduringly popular and genuinely comic of Shakespeare's earlier comedies. Let's get this thing started. Okay. Act 1, Scene 1. Athens, the place of Theseus. Enter Theseus, Hippolyta, Philostrate, and attendants. Now, fair Hippolyta, our nuptial hour draws on apace. 4 happy days bring in another moon. But, oh, methinks, how slow this old moon wanes. She lingers my desires, like a stepdame or a dowager, long withering out a young man's revenue. You know, the funny thing about this stuff is, like, I remember trying to read this stuff when I was, like, in high school, and I actually understand it a lot better now than I did back then. Back then, it was like it might as well have been written in Greek or something, but now I understand it. Okay. 4 days will quickly steep themselves in night. 4 nights will quickly dream away the time. And then the moon, like a silver bow, now bent in heaven, shall behold the night of our solemnities. Go, Philostrate. Stir up the Athenian youth to merriments. Awake the pert and nimble spirit of mirth. Turn melancholy forth to funerals. The pale companion is not for our pomp. Hippolyta, I wooed thee with my sword, and won thy love doing thee injuries, but I will wed thee in another key, with pomp, with triumph, and with reveling. Enter Aegeus and his daughter Hermia, Lysander and Demetrius. Happy be Theseus, our renowned duke. Thanks, good Aegeus. What's the news with thee? Full of vexation come I, with complaint against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius, my noble lord. This man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander, and my gracious duke. This man hath bewitched the bosom of my child. Thou, Lysander, thou hast given her rhymes, and interchanged love tokens with my child. Thou hast by moonlight at her window sung, with feigning voice, verses of feigning love, and stolen the impression of her fantasy with bracelets of thy hair, rings, gauds, cockrights, necks, trifles, nosegays, sweet meats, messengers of strong prevailment and unhardened youth. With cunning hast thou filched my daughter's heart, turned her obedience wishes due to me to stubborn harshness. And my gracious duke, be it so, she will not here before your grace, consent to marry with Demetrius. I beg the ancient privilege of Athens. As she is mine, I may dispose of her. Is that your Billie Eilish poster? Yeah, that's Billie Eilish in the back. Do you see that poster? Billie Eilish, and then next to which is Jim Morrison of the Doors. Okay. Um, oh yeah, it's a pretty cool poster, isn't it? Yeah, thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah, yeah. Billie Eilish is awesome. Okay. Her new album comes out next month. I gotta get it. Yeah, I can't wait till it comes out next month. That's awesome. The new Billie Eilish album next month. What's going to be called? Do you know what's going to be called? And by the way, I want to see her in concert. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah, I'd like to see her in concert too. Just comes out. The new album comes out next month. I mean she is just a wonderful artist, and she's kind of like talk about being on top right now. She is just like she opened at Lollapalooza. She was like the headliner at Lollapalooza. Hit Me Hard and Soft. I think I love her music. Yeah, you know, I'd like to hear Billie Eilish do something completely different though. What if Billie Eilish was to actually go like hard rock or something? I wonder what that would be like with more kind of like powerhouse like hard rock vocals. I wonder if that would be cool, or if she's just gonna keep doing the same style that she does. But whatever she does, I'm sure it's gonna be great. Um, anyways, um, wait a minute. Let's see. Yeah, I love her music too. Wait a minute. Um, That'd be awesome. She's been adding some more guitar in her stuff, so I think eventually she'll get to that. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Billie Eilish, like totally, kind of like she's got like a kind of a soft voice, but if you really listen to her voice closely, you can actually hear that like even if it is kind of a soft and quieter voice, it's like there's a lot of vocal skill in there. She could like really do those runs, those vocal runs, and there's a lot of range within that. She has a lot of range, even though she doesn't sing like in a real loud, intense way. There's a lot of like, I mean, her pitch is perfect, I think, and her vocal melodies are perfect or spot on. It's just kind of yeah, she's definitely super talented. I agree with that. Her vocal melodies are kind of like she's definitely got the vocal melody thing happening, and her tone is beautiful. She doesn't necessarily belt it out like some of those singers, but her vocal tone is beautiful, and her she's just good at singer. You just got to listen to it. She's a great singer, but you know, and her lyrics are really kind of like what drive home. Her lyrics, it's really the great lyrics and the great melody that drives it all home. Though without the great lyrics and the great melody, it's like you know, just like being a good singer for me is not enough. You got to have like great something great to sing about too, and you got to have like a great hook. So for me, it's like being a great singer is just you know that's just the start of it. You got to have like those great melodies to sing and there's great hooks. Yeah, it's really poetic stuff. Yeah, exactly. Okay. What do you say, Herman? Be advised, Hermit. To your father should be as a god, one that composed your beauties, yes, and one to whom you are but as a form in wax, by him imprinted, and with it is power to leave the figure or disfigure it. Demetrius is a worthy gentleman. So is Lysander. In himself he is, but in this kind, wanting your father's voice, the other must be held the worthier. I would my father look but with my eyes. Rather, your eyes must be with his judgment look. You know, it's funny how like I understand this stuff right away. because I've read all this stuff over and over again, you start to really understand the language. I mean, this stuff was written like in the 1500s, and it's really cool how you start to understand the language if you keep at it. Okay. I do entreat your grace to pardon me. I know not by what power I am made bold, nor how it may concern my modesty. In such a presence, here to plead my thoughts. But I beseech your grace that I may know the worst that may befall me in this case, if I refuse to wed Demetrius, either to die the death, or to abjure forever the society of men. Therefore, fair Hermia, question your desires. Know of your youth, examine well your blood, whether, if you yield not to your father's choice, you can endure the livery of a nun. For I to be in shady cloister mewed, to live a barren sister all your life. Chanting fame hymns to the cold fruitless moon. Thrice blessed. Oh, it's Terry the Troll. Hi, how's it going? Okay. Thrice blessed. They master their blood to undergo such a maiden pilgrimage. But earthly or happy is the rose distilled, than that which withering on the virgin thorn grows, lives, and dies in single blessedness. So will I grow, so live, so die, ere I will yield my virgin patent up unto his lordship, whose unwished yoke my soul consents not to give sovereignty. Take time to pause, and by the next new moon, the sealing day betwixt my love and me for everlasting bond of fellowship, upon the day, either prepare to die for disobedience to your father's will, or else to wed Demetrius, as he would, or on Diana's altar protest, for I, austerity and single life. Yeah, I learned the Cotton Eye Joe, and can I make you a mod? Yeah, you're a mod. Okay. Anyways, okay. Relent, sweet Hermia, and Lysander yield. Thy crazed title my certain right. You have her father's love, Demetrius. Let me have Hermia's. Do we marry him? Scornful Lysander. Shrew be half my love. And what is matter of mine shall render him, and she is mine. In all my right of her I do estate unto Demetrius. Act 2, Scene 1. A wood near Athens. Enter a fairy at one door and a puck at another. How now, spirits? Whither wander you? Over the hill, over dale, through bush, through briar, over park, over vale, through flood, through fire. I do wander everywhere. Swifter than the moon's sphere, and I serve the fairy queen, to dew her orbs upon the green. The cowslips, tall her pensioners be. In their gold coast spots you see, those rubies, fairy favors. In those freckles live their savors. I must go seek some dewdrops here, and hang a pearl in every cowslip's ear. Farewell, thou lob of spirits. Oh, hi, Kevin Holman. I'll be gone. Our queen and all her elves come here anon. The king doth keep his revels here tonight. Take heed the queen, come not within his sight. For Oberon is passing fell in wrath, because that she as attendant hath stolen from an Indian king. She never had so sweet a changeling. And jealous Oberon would have the child, knights of his train, to trace the forest wild. But she, perforce, withholds, crowns him with flowers, and makes him all her joy. And now they never meet in a grove or green, by fountain clear, or spangled starlight's sheen. But they do square, and all their elves for fear creep into acorn cups and hide them here, hide them there. Either I mistake your shape and making quiet, or else you are that shrewd and knavish sprite. Oh, thanks. You're my biggest fan, huh? Thanks, Chuck. Your name is Chocolate, Chocolate Nuts? Chocolate Knowles? Chocolate Knowles. Oh, thanks. It's really nice. Okay. Let's see. Thanks, man. That's really nice of you. Okay, so the cowslips tell her pensioners be in their Gold Coast spots. You see those be rubies, fairy favors. In those freckles live their saviors. I must go seek some dewdrops here and hang a pearl in every cowslip's ear. Farewell, though. Did I ever say that? I think I did. Yeah. Okay. Either I mistake your shape in making quiet, or else you are that shrewd and knavish sprite called Robin Goodfellow. Are you not he that frights the maidens of the villagery, skim milk, and sometimes labor in the quern, and bootless make the breathless housewife churn, and sometimes make the drink to bear no barm? Barm? Misled night wanderers. I like that one. Misled night wanderers. So much great poetry in the writing of Shakespeare. Okay, laughing at their harm. Those that hobgoblin call you, and sweet Puck, you do their work, and they shall have good luck. Are not you he? Thou speakest aright. I am that merry wanderer of the night. I jest to Oberon and make him smile. When I a fat and bean-fed horse beguile, neighing in likeness of a filly foal, and sometimes lurk I at a gossip's bow, I very likeness of a roasted crab, and when she drinks against her lips I bob, and on her withered dewlap pour the ale, the wisest aunt telling the saddest tale. Oh, thanks. You love Shakespeare. So do I. I love Shakespeare. Sometimes for 3-foot stool mistaketh me, then slip I from her bum. Wait a minute, they had that. I think of like when you say bum, that's like the English word for ass, right? Or butt, bum. They had that word all the way back in the 1500s. Anyways, down topples she, and Taylor cries and falls into a cough, and then the whole choir hold their hips and laugh, and waxen in their mirth and knees and sweat. A merrier hour was never wasted there. But room, fairy, here comes Oberon. And here my mistress, would that be were gone, enter Oberon at one door, with his train. And Titiana at another with hers. I'll meet by moonlight, proud Titiana. What jealous Oberon? Fairy, skip hence. I have forsworn his bed and company. Tarry, rash wanton, am not I thy lord? How canst thou this? For shame, Titiana, glance at my credit with Hippolyta, knowing I know thy love to Theseus? Didst thou lead him through the glimmering night from Paraguana, whom he ravished, and make him with fair eagles break his faith with Adrian and an Anatopa? These are the forgeries of jealousy, and never since the middle summer's spring met we on hill and dale and forest or mead, by paved fountain or by rushy brook, or in the beached margent of the sea, to dance our ringlets to the whistling wind. But with thy brawls thou hast disturbed our sport. Therefore the winds, piping to us in vain, as in revenge, have sucked up from the sea contagious fogs, which falling in the land hath every pelting river made so proud, that they have overborne their continents. The ox hath therefore stretched his yoke in vain. The plowman lost his sweat, and the green corn hath rotted ere his youth attained a beard. The fold stands empty in the drowned field, and crows are fatted with the murrian flock. The 9 men's morris is filled up with the mud, and the quaint mazes in the wanton green, for lack of tread, are indistinguishable. The human mortals want their winter here. Tonight is not with him, or carol blessed. Therefore the moon, the governess of floods, pale in her anger, washes all the air, that rheumatic disease do abound, and throw his distemperature. Distemper we see, the seasons after, hoary-headed frosts fall in the fresh lamp of the crimson rose. And on old hymns thin and icy crowns, an odorous chaplet of sweet summer buds is, as in mockery, set the spring, the summer, the childing autumn, angry winter, change their wonted liveries, and the mazed world, by their increase, knows not which is which, and this same progeny of evils comes from our debate, from our dissension. We are parents and original. Do you amend it then? It lies in you. Why should Titiana cross her Oberon? I do but beg a little changeling to be my henchman. Set your heart at rest. The fairy land buys not the child of me. His mother was votress of my order, and in the spice Indian air by night, full often hath she gossiped by my side, and sat with me on Neptune's yellow sands. Marking the embarked traders in the flood, when we have laughed to see the sails conceive and grow big-bellied with the wanton wind, which she, with pretty and swimming gait, following her womb, then rich with my young squire, would initiate and sail upon the land, to fetch me trifles and return again as from a voyage, rich with merchandise. But she, being mortal, of that boy did die, and for her sake I will not part with. Oh, how long within this wood intend you stay? Perchance till Theseus' wedding day, if you will patiently dance in our round, and see our moonlight revels, go with us. If not, shun me, I will spare your haunts. Give me that, Goldie. Not for thy fairy kingdom fares away. We shall Shy downright, if longer I stay. We'll go the way, thou shalt after this grove, till I torment thee for this injury. My gentle Puck, come hither. Thou rememberest since once I sat upon a promontory, and heard a mermaid on a dolphin's back, uttering such dulcet and harmonious breath, that the rude sea grew civil at her song. And certain stars shot madly from their spheres to hear the sea maid's music. I remember. That very time I saw, but thou couldst not, flying between the cold moon and the earth, Cupid, all armed, a certain aim he took at a fair vestal, thrown by the west, and loosed his love shaft smartly from his bow, and it should pierce 100,000 hearts. But I might see young Cupid's fiery shaft quenched in the chaste beams of the weary moon, and the imperial votress passed on, and maiden meditation, fancy free, yet marked I were the bolt of Cupid fell. I fell upon a little western flower, before milk white, now purple with love's wound. And maidens call it love and idleness. Fetch me that flower, the herb I showed thee once. The juice of its sleeping eyelids laid will make or man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. Fetch me this herb, and be thou here again. Ere the Leviathan can swim a league. I'll put a girdle round about the earth in 40 minutes. Having once this juice, I'll watch Titiana when she is asleep, and drop the liquor of it in her eyes. The next thing she waking looks upon, be it on lion, bear, or wolf, or bull, on meddling monkey, or on busy ape, she shall pursue it with the soul of love, and ere I take this charm from off her sight. And I could take it with another herb. I'll make her render up her page to me. But who comes here? I am invisible, and I will overhear their conference. Enter Demetrius. Following him. I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where's Lysander and fair Hermia? The one I'll slay, the other slayeth me. Thou toldest me they were stolen unto this wood, and here I am in wood within this wood, because I cannot meet my Hermia. Hence, get thee gone, and follow me no more. You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant. But yet, you draw not iron, for my heart is true as steel. Leave you your power to draw, and I shall have no power to follow you. Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? and I shall have no power to follow you. And even for that, do I love you the more. Am I your spaniel and Demetrius, the more you... Wait, tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit. Your virtue is my privilege. For that. It is not night when I do see your face. Thanks for joining me. I hope you join me on my next YouTube live stream. Bye.